Yeah, it's really directly following on from that, you see, and it goes back to the point I was making earlier about what's the point here. And my understanding is that you aren't envisaging, or at least that's the sort of signal we got, and what we were talking about is states like South Africa, where there's been restrictions on travel, and I think they're pointless, and so do the WHO think they're pointless, and indeed punishing the people who helped us identify Omicron, which may not even have originated there, quite possibly didn't originate there, but in any event is in the UK, and that means every single day people are travelling north, south, east, west, and so on. So it all seems rather pointless, and I'm beginning to wonder, are we debating a piece of legislation, which I know everybody's saying we don't want to have to put into place, but where actually where the government don't even envisage any remote possibility that it's going to be deployed. And that's, so I support Duncan's amendment, obviously, because the thought that somebody who'd come back from a termination would be, put in mandatory hotel quarantine against the background of something that seems rather pointless in any event, just seems absolutely unbearable. But it just beggars the question about what is the whole point of this, and what do you see happening? And I mean, you were scoring a few political points, and fair enough, about our position before, but our position was linked to a strategy. There was a purpose, and the purpose was, until we get vaccinated, keep it out, because we were close enough to elimination that if you eliminated it, pending a vaccine, you could open up. And you disagreed with that strategy, but it was a strategy, and it was a strategy followed by New Zealand. What I'm trying to figure out here is what's the strategy, and if the strategy was to keep out Omicron or even slow it down, well then you'd slam it on now. And you'd slam it on to England, to Holland, not just to South Africa and all the rest. You put it on now. Say, if you want to slow it down, we do it now. If you do it in 2 or 3 weeks, when Tony Olin or somebody decides, oh, Omicron is actually a real problem, it's absolutely too late then. So I just don't see the logic of what you're doing. And then you envisage situations like this, which would be completely intolerable. So I'm not out to score political points. I'm just trying to understand the point here, and I don't really see the point unless you're actually telling us that you're thinking in the relatively short term that it is a serious possibility that mandatory quarantine could be required from people coming from the UK or the Netherlands or whatever. And in the case of abortion, obviously, we are primarily talking about the UK.